Welcome to Coyote Valley, a key wildlife corridor connecting the Diablo Range and the Santa Cruz Mountains. Coyote Valley is located just south of the city of San Jose before you get to Morgan Hill along Highway 101. Coyote Valley is extremely important to keep as open space because it's a biodiversity hotspot. Here we have over 170 species of birds and 24 species of mammals. We have things like ferruginous hawk, peregrine falcon, badger, bobcat, and mountain lion.
So now 170 species in an area the size of Coyote Valley, is that high, is that low, in the middle?
Yeah, so that's huge. 171 species and this is only 33 square kilometers, which is a pretty small area. So the density of birds here is just, it's unreal, especially with the raptors. It's the highest density of probably breeding raptors in California. So huge diversity here.
Did you know that the Bay Area is a part of what is called the Pacific Flyway, a major north to south route of travel for migratory birds in the Americas, extending from Alaska to Patagonia? In addition to our permanent residents, every year migratory birds use Coyote Valley for mating, nesting, and as a resting spot on their seasonal journey. There are many diverse species of mammals, including tule elk, badger, deer, mountain lion, bobcat, raccoon, and coyote found here, as well as critically important native plants such as California buckeye and valley oak. In addition, this is a really important area for floodplains and seasonal wetlands. The list goes on and on of why Coyote Valley is important to keep as open space, but unfortunately, Coyote Valley is in danger of being developed.
It's a really bad idea. There's better places to develop than Coyote Valley, and the educational opportunities for this place and just, the recreational, everything, it just needs to stay the way it is and be improved. There's no reason to build out here. We have infill opportunities in the city. There's so much other things we could do with this place other than fill it in with homes and businesses.
So how did the coyote cross the road? Well, if it was an 8-lane highway like 101 right behind me, and it was a smart coyote, hopefully it used one of these. This is a drainage culvert. They were input when Highway 101 was created to provide proper water drainage. However, they are being used by wildlife. Everything from mountain lions to bobcats, badgers, raccoons, and of course coyotes are using these drainage culverts to make their way safely across Highway 101. This is what's called a wildlife corridor. Wildlife corridors are basically a passageway that provides safe and easy access to other lands for wildlife to find resources and mate. A wildlife corridor can be absolutely anything that provides that safe passageway. Anything from a simple pipe that gets a badger underneath a freeway, or something more elaborate like an overpass that mimics natural habitat. By creating these wildlife corridors, we are essentially increasing the amount of area we are giving these species to survive. This is going to give wildlife the best possible chance of survival, which is going to mean the best possible chance for our survival as well.
People used to think when they built Yellowstone, they just thought large chunks of land would be okay, but you actually need to link them up for several reasons. Carnivores usually have really large home ranges like mountain lions. Even badgers have home ranges up to like 20 square kilometers. So they need large habitat. And then, for example, like mountain lions, kittens stay with mom for about 2 years, but then they need to disperse out. So they need habitat, like a corridor, to get to the next mountain range.
Coyote Valley is essentially the last spot for animals to cross between the Diablo Range in the east to the Santa Cruz Mountains in the west, without coming into direct contact with our highly developed areas, from San Francisco in the north to San Jose in the south.
So what better way to see Coyote Valley than just like the birds do? Let's go.
Up here is a perfect way to see what wildlife corridor connectivity really means. We already know that a wildlife corridor is simply a way to connect land together so that wildlife can have safe passage as well as habitat. But take a look. Can you see the natural connection there between the Diablo Range and the Santa Cruz Mountains? If you were an animal looking for food, shelter, water, or a mate, wouldn't it just make sense to cross this lush and open valley? The students of De Anza College sure thought so. So in 2006, under the leadership of Julie Phillips and the faculty of the Environmental Studies Department, students began a journey to create and protect connections for wildlife and for themselves.
So Ryan, tell me a little bit about what you guys do out here with the Coyote Valley Project.
So we started about 2 years ago bringing students out here, and we're actually studying the birds, the mammals. Now we're starting plant surveys and amphibian surveys. So we bring, this quarter, 30 students out here, and 2 years ago it started with 5 students and it's just grown in the last couple of years. And so what we do is we study the birds out here, the mammals, everything out here. So we really learn what's using this habitat and where animals are moving across, such as mountain lions, badgers, species of special concern.
I like spending time out here because it's peaceful. It's one of the last open spaces so close to home in San Jose. There's a chance to see wildlife. You can come birding out here. There's tons of different bird species. It's just a peaceful place to kind of get away from the craziness of the city.
So when you were in high school, did you ever think that you might be considering a career in public policy?
No, definitely not. I never thought I'd be interested in what I'm studying now. So
Did you ever think that you'd be out at 7 o'clock in the morning looking at birds?
No, I never thought I would, but I love that I do, and I never thought I'd wake up that early to go birding, but now when I start my day out birding, my day is just so much better.
At the end of my week, after doing all my schooling and regular work and everything like that, I come out here and I just look forward to every day.
We have 30+ students involved in this project now, and it began with just 3 students coming out birding in the morning. Now it's just huge. It's grown so much that just see these students, they just find their passion out here, and it's changed a lot of students' lives. A couple of students that that's all they want to do now is bird, look at wildlife, so it's been really exciting in that aspect as well.
Joining the project has given me something to be passionate about. I've been going to junior college for 5 years now, and I've been studying business and general ed, and until I found the program at the Kirsch Center and started studying environmental studies, I haven't really had anything that I've been passionate about that I want to do just because I love doing it. So this project has definitely given me that.
It's given me sort of new direction, especially on the weekends when I spend how I spend my spare time and stuff. Whereas before I would, hang out with friends, watch TV, play video games and stuff like that. Now I spend time, learning about animals, taking pictures of bugs, doing things I never thought I would do before.
I've grew up here, so just seeing it protected would be huge for me, just on a personal level too, and also for the wildlife going through this area would just be huge. And I grew up in the Santa Cruz Mountains, so if this isn't protected, Santa Cruz Mountains, wildlife is just going to be affected.
A lot of folks like Department of Fish and Game are really worried that the Santa Cruz mountain lion population is going to become locally extinct, because Santa Cruz itself is just becoming isolated. And when you run into that, animals that live there, large-ranging animals like mountain lions, become genetically isolated. So even if you have 1 mountain lion per year crossing from the Diablo Range to the Santa Cruz Mountains and mating, that's going to keep that population viable. Otherwise, you run into situations like the Florida panther, which is very costly and expensive for folks like cities and land managers to manage.
If you just drive 20 or 30 minutes in a couple different directions, you can get to an environment that's completely different than what you're used to.
And that's been the fun thing about this project, is we found that students who have never been out to the field, we've developed a rapid assessment method where students can come into the field, kind of do like a triage, where we'll come out and they'll learn how to record data, use a GPS, take pictures of the track, and then map it out. We even map it out in the field. So these are entry-level students, and we do have some other students have different backgrounds in biology, but with these methods you can teach anyone how to do this.
Looking around, it is easy to see why someone would want to live, work, and play in this beautiful place. But what is important here is to not always think of the land as just a way to make money or to be there just for human use.
It's sad because you can never get those places back. Once those houses and the stuff is there, even if you tear all down all the homes and all the businesses, it's never the same. So, things change, but, there's smart change and then there's not so smart change. So hopefully we can get people pointed in more of a smart change direction.
Every development, big, small, or in between, has an impact on the ecosystem and its inhabitants. Many times, development severs priceless connections between swatches of land already carved up by existing development. We have created a patchwork mosaic of development, interspersed with open space here in California and across the globe. If we cut off all access for wildlife to move in between these small reserves of open space, for many species, we would be cutting off their ability to survive by imprisoning them inside these patches of preserved open space. We must allow them safe passage to other surrounding lands, or suffer the consequences of further species decline and possible extinction.
10 years from now, I hope to be making changes in one way or another. I see myself doing some type of public policy work or working for a nonprofit, just doing something to preserve open space and protect wildlife.
Before, I was a political science major, and I was planning on being a lawyer and working in an office all day and all that stuff, and this has completely gone a different direction for me, so it's changed my whole direction in life.
I think that Coyote Valley in the Bay Area is one of the most beautiful areas of land set apart.
Coyote Valley is such a unique and special place that in 2001, Scenic America designated Coyote Valley as Last Chance Landscape for its beauty and distinctive community character. This prestigious award was only given to 10 locations in the United States, and Coyote Valley was the only one to receive it in California. By protecting Coyote Valley as open space, we can protect this priceless wildlife corridor and save it for future generations of humans and wildlife. We cannot survive as a species alone. We need the immense biodiversity that this planet has to offer, and we must protect it as good stewards of the environment. Places like Coyote Valley need to be kept as open space, not just for wildlife that lives here, but also for our well-being. There are many ways that you can get involved. One way is to contact your local representatives to tell them how you feel about Coyote Valley and other open spaces in your area. They are there to carry out your wishes and would love to hear your thoughts. You can get involved directly by taking a wildlife tracking course or even becoming a wildlife corridor technician right here in the Bay Area with De Anza College Environmental Studies Department. Or become a member, even a donor, of a conservation-minded organization such as the Coyote Valley Landscape Institute at De Anza College. And if you're like me and love to be outside, a great way to learn about nature is to just come out and be in nature. Exploring your public parks and open spaces is a fun, healthy, cost-effective way to spend an afternoon. Or even just letting other people in your life, people you talk to all the time anyway, know the importance of open space and maintaining wildlife corridors can have a huge impact. For more information, please visit deanza.edu/es. Every one of us has the power to affect positive change for ourselves, for species, and for our planet.